I hate football sometimes. PSG putting in a very good performance. Me enjoying PSG, but also feeling depressed because the difference in PSG attackers versus Manchester United attackers was worrying. And then I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna get this winner, PSG. They're gonna beat Liverpool. Mohamed Salah comes off. Brave call from Arne Slot. Harvey Elliott comes on. One good move from Liverpool. Bam. Maybe Donnarumma could have done better, but it was a great finish from Harvey Elliott. Really good work from Darwin Núñez. And Alisson, man of the match, that starts off the play. And Liverpool have managed to win that game 1-0. Look at the difference in the XG. 1-0 to Liverpool. Like, to give you more context, 70% possession for PSG. PSG had 27 attempts on goal to Liverpool's 2. PSG had 10 shots on target to Liverpool's 1. They had 3 big chances to Liverpool's 1. And I think towards the end, PSG were just getting frustrated and they were shooting, from all angles and all places and all of that. So that did drive their shot numbers up. But that was Jose Mourinho sort of smash and grab. That was Atletico Madrid. That was what Real Madrid had done when they've not been at their best and still won the Champions League. And you know what? Liverpool were not at their best today. I think that's the best I've seen a team play against Liverpool, that PSG performance. But Liverpool defended well. I've always said this with Liverpool, they've got 4 world-class players, Liverpool. In Alisson Becker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Van Dijk and Salah. And when you've got 4 world-class players, those are the players that can win you a game. And Alisson won the game today. And they had the ability to sit deep and defend because they had the quality in Alisson. Van Dijk, I thought Trent had a very good game today. And all they needed was that one moment in the transition to win the game. And at times it felt like Slot might have got his game plan wrong, but now you can say, well, Slot got the win. He got his game plan right. It was very Mourinho-esque. It was very Diego Simeone-esque. And we've seen Real Madrid do this to Liverpool, where they've sat in, Liverpool have dominated the game, and Real Madrid have gone and won. If you want to be the best team in the world, you've got to be the team that normally dominates, that normally scores goals, that is brilliant, and that's Liverpool, the top of the league. But you're also the team when you go away in these big games, PSG, and pick the form PSG have been in the last 2 months, they've been incredible, and you've seen today how good PSG are. And they sat back, and maybe they were too defensive, maybe they were too reserved. Liverpool were giving the ball away sloppily, but they had the quality to not go behind defensively and just take their chance. And it's those moments that can win trophies. Because that PSG side I thought was really good today. But look, Alisson Becker was clearly man of the match. There's no other debate about it. I thought Kvaratskhelia was dangerous, and I didn't think that was offside the goal. I think Desiree Doué, such an exciting talent, isn't he? Nuno Mendes impressed me from PSG, and of course, Barcola was quiet, but Dembele was quite threatening at times. But Alisson Becker was clearly man of the match, and I said this at the bottom, not just his stopping, but his ability to push the ball away from danger. It must have been just before the goal. It must have been like the 80th minute or something. But he got the ball, and Onana in this situation, and this is why I'm getting frustrated with Onana, but the amount of times Onana has just pushed the ball into, like, Beto, for example, or an opposition player, and they've scored. Alisson, when he gets the ball, the power on him to push the ball away. So even if he can't catch the ball, if he's pushing the ball away, he's getting a certain power to drive that away from goal, whereas you've seen Onana for Man United push it into the opposition players. Not just the shot stopping, can play out from the back well, but the way he gets the ball away from danger, the punches. 1.43 goals prevented is incredible. That is winning a game. He is basically scored, that's a goal. Preventing 1.43 goals is like scoring a goal. Every goal you prevent is like scoring a goal. Do you know what I mean? He's almost got like a goal and assist today in that kind of, if you know what I mean, like in the sense of what he's contributed to Liverpool, but just in a defensive way. 9 saves, 4 saves from inside the box. It was an incredible performance because if you look at the shot map here, Liverpool's 1 on target to PSG's. It was a prime example of this is knockout football, and this is what it does. If you've got world-class players, and Alisson is world-class, Donnarumma is not, and you defend well, and you sit back and invite that pressure, all you need is that one moment. And it was Mourinho-esque, it was Atletico Madrid-esque at times, but Mourinho won trophies. And that is what Liverpool got to do, because I almost think that this will be the toughest game Liverpool will have in the Champions League. Liverpool played Real Madrid off the park in the group stage. I think the way that PSG have been these last 2 months, even though they started the Champions League slowly, I think that was the toughest game that Liverpool have. And if Liverpool go, the second leg's not going to be easy. Like PSG, I think will score one of those chances in the second leg, and Liverpool have got to do something different in the second leg. But I think if Liverpool knock PSG out, I think the only team that I think would really cause Liverpool problems, I think, is more Atleti than Real Madrid, if I was going to be honest. But Real Madrid are Real Madrid. Real Madrid could play like that and win. You know, when Liverpool play Real Madrid, it could be the other way round. But maybe Atleti is the one team that you think could cause Liverpool problems. You'd expect them to beat Villa. I think the other side of the draw is weaker. Bayern Munich will cause issues, of course. Barcelona have looked really good. Inter have looked good. You'd expect Liverpool to beat Arsenal, but let's talk about the game. Let's talk about my thoughts. I thought it was very Atletico from Liverpool today. Deep, disciplined, resilient. I've never seen Liverpool sit so deep. I've never seen Liverpool invite so much pressure. And PSG were very dominant. I've praised Liverpool's midfield this season. McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai's probably been the best midfield in the Premier League this season. And in terms of a collective and the balance and everything. And, you know, Szoboszlai's really come to light lately. Gravenberch has been brilliant all season. McAllister, excellent player. But today I thought PSG were controlling the midfield, Liverpool weren't keeping the ball well, and the wingers from PSG were so dangerous. And despite the wingers being so dangerous and causing problems, and the fullbacks, you know, losing the winger a couple of times, I thought that the fullback, particularly Trent, had a good game actually dealing with it because they were trying to target Trent, isolate him 1v1, and I think he dealt with Barcola well. Of course, Kvaratskhelia causes a lot of issues. Of course, you know, Dembele, ridiculous player at the moment. He's hit his peak right now. But I thought that Liverpool defended well, they dealt with it well. There's question marks over Konate having a red card, but do you know what? I'd like to sit there and go, oh, it's a red card, Liverpool were lucky. But it's one of those where if the ref sends Konate off, you understand why VAR doesn't overturn it. But if the ref doesn't send Konate off, you can understand why VAR wouldn't want to intervene, change the game by sending Konate off, if that makes sense. Like, I think it wasn't clear and obvious. It was, if the ref gives that, VAR aren't going to overturn that because that could be a foul. But at the same time, it's one of those, but I didn't think it was super clear and obvious, but I kind of wanted him to get sent off. But then at the same time, I thought we'd get a more interesting game with 11 men. But I was a bit like David Beckham when Liverpool scored. Anyway, I thought despite struggling to play out from the back, I think Liverpool defended well. They showed that unity. I thought they did well. Alisson, obviously the difference today, you know, him versus Donnarumma. If you're PSG and you look at Alisson and you look at Donnarumma, you're like, yeah, that was the difference today. Liverpool, and I say this earlier, Liverpool's ability to sit back, defend, adapt their game plan to a very different approach won them the match. And one thing I've been critical of Arteta this season is he's done the same thing over and over again, and it's not really worked sometimes with Arsenal trying to break down teams. And I felt that with Slot, he's adapted depending on who he plays a lot, and I think that's helped Liverpool moments. Because even in games where I think, you know, it's Brighton this season and Ipswich, and I think one of the first game against Villa, where Liverpool maybe didn't have the best first half, they'd come out in the second half a lot better, or Liverpool had come from behind to win games. And it was so annoying because I know with Liverpool this season, they'll come from behind, they'll win a game. You know, I've tried to hate watch Liverpool and I've had no success because I didn't even watch the Plymouth game. I was away that weekend. So the one time Liverpool are rubbish, I didn't even watch the game. So I've had so much failure trying to hate watch Liverpool. That's like, when Liverpool behind, I know they're going to win. When Liverpool being dominated, something said to me, Liverpool are going to win this, aren't they? Something said to me, Liverpool are going to win this late, and they just did. They just did win that today. They found a way to win because they can adapt their game plan, they can defend well, they have the quality to keep them in the game, and then when they have that one moment, they have the quality to win that. Harvey Elliott come off the bench, and I thought every player that came off the bench for Liverpool was so good. Because it was never going to be an easy game. PSG dominated that game more than I thought they would. I thought Liverpool would give more of a game and it would be closer, but I did have a feeling PSG at home, the form they're in, I fancy PSG a bit with the attack, the talent. The fact that Liverpool's midfield was struggling to retain possession. Diaz and Jota were making runs, but they were not easy runs to find with passes. And I felt that Nunez's runs, it was easier for him to find the ball with his legs and with his energy. I felt in that game, and I was saying at half time, Curtis Jones needed to come on. I think Curtis Jones did well in terms of just slowing the game down a little, keeping the ball. And I think towards the end, PSG just got frustrated that they hadn't scored with how dominant they'd been. And they were taking a few silly shots here and there outside the box. You know, Vitinha tried to shoot and there was a block. But I thought, gap play would have been missed in this kind of game. I thought Nunes did well when he came on. But I thought the subs worked really well. And you have to give Slot credit. Taking Salah off's a big call. But he took Salah off and Harvey Elliott scores a minute later. Like, that's on Slot. That's a risk. Darwin Núñez coming on. I actually thought, I know he's not been at his best, but I thought, right pass for Elliott. Right call, right decision making, which is something that Darwin Núñez gets criticised for. But it was the running and the winning the headers and winning the duels. I think I think I've always preferred Jota to Darwin Núñez. But I thought Darwin Núñez actually did better in this game because he could just win it in the air. His runs just gave Liverpool a bit more an outlook today to have to keep the ball better higher at the pitch is probably the way I would describe it. I said again in about half time as well, this could be a game for Harvey Elliott in terms of just creativity, because Liverpool that obviously scored the goal. So that worked well, and I thought Endo did well. Every time Endo's come on, he's just done really well in terms of the off the ball, the shift, the work. And I think when you've got a 1-0 lead, is Endo the type of guy you'd want to start in that second leg? I know he doesn't like to start Endo in big games, but Endo continues to impress me in those games. And the last page of my notes was PSG are good, but you do back Liverpool at Anfield. Now, I'm not confident Liverpool go through to the next round, because I think, wow, if you get that exact same game at Anfield, surely Liverpool don't win at 1-0 again, you know? Surely PSG take their chance, or a call goes PSG's way, you know, like the offside was so minimal. But at the same time, it's like, well, Liverpool would have learnt lessons. Slot would have gone, that didn't work, we've got to do something different. Slot's going to know they didn't play well. And this is Liverpool at Anfield. And this is PSG away from home. Look what PSG did in Newcastle, bottled it away from home. Now, this PSG side is so much better than the PSG side of last year. And I know they had Mbappe, and I know they've had Neymar and Messi in the past. But this is, I honestly think, is the best PSG side they're going to build. Getting away from the Galacticos and building this young, hungry team. I think this PSG side's going to go places. I really do. If it's not this year in UCL, it could be next year. I think this PSG side is incredible. But you would back Liverpool at Anfield. So it's like, with the form PSG going in, you knew it was going to be a hard game. I was thinking a draw would be a good result for Liverpool going into the game. I think a win is an unbelievable result for Liverpool, having watched the game. But you know, PSG are a tough side. And it was just elements of Slot getting his tactics right, but elements I think he got it wrong. But I guess he got it right overall. Liverpool playing poorly but winning because of an Alisson masterclass. And I saw this here from Counter Press. And I think Slot got his tactics spot on, but I don't think the players executed it as well as Slot wanted them to. I knew what Liverpool's game plan was, and I thought that Liverpool's game plan was smart, but I thought that the amount of times Liverpool gave the ball away so stupidly, because PSG were on them like a flash, that was silly from Liverpool, and that was bad from Liverpool. But obviously Slot's not going to ask Liverpool fans to give the ball away, but I thought the way the Slot set up was good, and what Slot wanted them to do was good, and it worked. And that eventually won them the game. But Liverpool were poor because they didn't execute on it as well as they normally have. And I saw this tweet from Counter Press saying, the word I always use to describe Arne Slot is pragmatic. Unlike most coaches, his willingness to sacrifice elements of his philosophy depending on the opposition is breathtaking. Today against PSG, they were passive out of possession. They sat in their shape with resilience, placing emphasis on PSG to break them down. For all the discourse surrounding PSG, they are a young and naive side. He begged the question of them, can you break us down? They couldn't. It was crazy because PSG had so much attacking quality and Liverpool got a clean sheet. And Alisson Becker, hey? PSG posed the greatest transitional threat in Europe, so Liverpool went direct and long, aiming to take advantage on the 4v4 of the defensive line. There was no need to play into danger with the threat that PSG have. Tactically spot on. They didn't play into danger. It was defensive. It was pragmatic. I thought that Liverpool didn't do very well playing out and playing the players through or finding the runs, and they gave the ball away a lot, which made it easier for PSG. But I do think Arne Slot's approach was actually right in that game. You've got to approach it like Atleti would, or like Mourinho would, or like Real Madrid did when they beat Liverpool in the UCL 1-0 to win it. It was very much, I think, a well thought out performance, because it was just do what you can to not lose. You've got the advantage at Anfield. Anyway, that's football for you. 2 unsuccessful hate watches this week on Arsenal and Liverpool. But I think the second leg will be interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.